So, new topic, we're going to start a bit of algebraic fraction. That we're going to look at is to simplify basic algebraic fractions. So there's two types that we'll look at. We'll look at factorizing the next video, but this one we're going to look at simplifying them where we don't need to factorize. So if you're taking this as a note, it takes as long as you need to write the title. If not, just keep playing the video and we'll start working through some examples. Now, to actually be able to simplify this, we need to know what's going on here. So the 10 over the 15 are the coefficients. They're the whole numbers at the front. We simplify those just like we would a normal fraction. So you're looking for something that you can divide 10 and 15 by. And preferably you're looking for the biggest number, because if you find the biggest number that you divide both of them by, you only need to do it once. So the biggest times table that 10 and 15 are in are 5. So if we do 10 divided by 5, that's going to leave me with 2. And 15 divided by 5, that's going to leave me with 3. So that's the coefficient part simplified. Now, for the variables, that's the letters, we essentially need to cancel out. Now, what's actually going on here is the x squared, y to the 5. Well, x squared is x times x, and y to the 5 is y multiplying itself 5 times. So that's actually what's going on in that top row there, without the 10. And on the bottom, I've got x to the power 3, so it's x times x times x, and I'm timesing that by y to the power 3. So I've technically got 3 y's multiplying each other in the bottom there. Now, anything that you see on the top that you see on the bottom, you can cancel out, as long as they are multiplying everything. Okay, so I've got an x on the top multiplying, and an x on the bottom, so I can cancel those out. I've got another x that I can cancel out, and another x. And I can do the same for y's, but this time, I'm going to do it a little bit quicker. So instead of cancelling 1 for 1, well, I know I've got 3 there, and I can cancel out 3 on the top. So what I'm going to be left with is on the top I'm going to have a y squared, and on the bottom I'm just going to have an x. Now it's going to be quite long having to write that out every single time. So what I can say is, well, x squared means I've got 2 x's multiplying each other on the top, and on the bottom I've got 3 x's multiplying. So if I was to cancel those out, I'd be left with that single x on the bottom. And I can do the same for the y's. I've got 5 y's multiplying each other on the top. I've got 3 y's on the bottom multiplying each other. If I cancel them out, I'd be left with 2 on the top. It's the same, very similar to, or it is actually similar to the Indus rules and the Indus laws that we were just looking at. Okay, but I find very often if you kind of think about it as cancelling out, it seems to be a much simpler way of doing it. Now, all I'm doing there is you notice I started with my coefficients. I always deal with them separately. Then I go and look at the variables. Now there's one here for you to try, so can you try that one first? Start with the coefficients, then try the variables. Pause the video, take as long as you need to practice this, and then press play, we'll see how we get on. Now, 24 and 14, the biggest number I can divide both by is 2, so that's going to get me 12 over 7. Now looking at the a's, I've got a to the power 4 on the top and a squared on the bottom. So I've got 4 of them on the top, 2 of them on the bottom, so I'm going to be left with 2 of them on the top when I cancel those out. And I've got a b squared and a b cubed on the bottom, so when I cancel those out, I'll be left with 1b left on the bottom, b to the power of 1. And remember, we don't write the power 1, we just leave it as b. Now, some questions for you to try. There's some on the board there. So pause the video, take as long as you need to practice through these. Make sure that you are trying some from the bottom as well, because they're more similar to the ones that we practiced. The early on ones, again, are kind of your numerical or single kind of variable ones to practice. And then, always important, make sure that you are marking. Any work that you do, it is crucial that you're marking so that you're immediately checking your understanding.